Hi, I'm John DeBella, and this is your Classic Rock Update for this week. The Big Ragu, Sammy Hagar, is opening up Sammy's Bar and Grill in Harris, Atlantic City. Going to open up at the end of the month, as a matter of fact, just in time for Memorial Day weekend. Now, Sammy has a deal with Harris for a while now. He's got his Cabo Wabo Cantina in Lake Tahoe and another beach bar and grill in St. Louis. I don't know where the beach is in St. Louis, but obviously they put a bar and grill there. By now you know the sad news of Ronnie James Dio passing away at 67 years old of stomach cancer. There have been tributes to Dio all week long, but the strangest one of all shows up on Facebook, where someone says that he refuses to believe that Dio died of cancer and that he was eaten by a dragon. Can we get a better dragon? It seems this one guy doesn't want to accept the fact that stomach cancer took Dio out of his life and that this dragon was trying to eat us all, and Dio sacrificed himself for all of us. You know what? I love Dio and I love humor. This is just weird. Oasis lead singer Liam Gallagher has a production company that has secured the film rights to one of the most sought-after Beatles stories of all time. Rolling Stone reported that assistant Apple press director Richard DeLello's 1972 Apple memoir, The Longest Cocktail Party, will be made into a full-length motion picture. Basically, this biography details Apple Records and the ultimate demise of the group. DeLello, an American who started out as the Beatles' house hippie before working under the Beatles and Apple publicist Derek Taylor, played an integral role in the careers of such Apple alums as Badfinger, James Taylor, Mary Hopkin, Billy Preston, and Jackie Lomax. Not to mention the Beatles group and solo projects. There's been no start date announced for the principal photography of the movie. DeLello went on to a successful career as a film writer. He wrote the scripts for both the Sean Penn movie Bad Boys and the Sean Penn Robert Duvall movie Colors. Speaking of movies, Martin Scorsese, who started out as a cameraman on the Woodstock film, of course did the band's Last Waltz and the Rolling Stones' Shine a Light, is working on a George Harrison film called Living in the Material World. It's near completion. Speaking to reporters at the Cannes Film Festival, he said that, well, it's a work in progress and he's really not sure what it is yet. He plans on putting this out next year, so hopefully he's going to find out soon. Olivia Harrison, who's been archiving things for 35 years, says she's handed it all over to Martin, and sometimes she just finds a cassette or a little note that says "Goats on the Roof" and wonders, what's that supposed to be? Throws it in the drawer and becomes part of the archive system.
Hey Joe, where you going with that gun of yours?
Jimi Hendrix's London home will be open to the public for the 40th anniversary of his death. The house in which 18th century writer George Frederick Handel lived is where Jimi Hendrix made his home during the 60s. Now, normally it's the George Frederick Handel Museum, but for the months of August and November, it will become the Jimi Hendrix Museum, where you'll be able to see where Jimi lived during his time in London. Sadly, nothing remains from when this was Hendrix's home, but the curators are scrambling to get something together by the anniversary of his death on September 18th. So far, they have a black felt hat and an orange vest. Not sure if that's worth the $3,000 it's going to take to get to London to see it. And that brings us to the end of this week's Classic Rock Update. I'll see you on the radio weekday mornings from 5:30 to 9 on Classic Rock 102.9 MGK. Grr.